won't tend to be conservative, and by conservative, I'm not really talking political. I mean, are they progressive? Do they want things to change, or would they prefer to maintain the status quo? Well, to own a team, you have to be a billionaire, so you have benefited from the status quo. Whatever your racial, composition or ethnic background, you've benefited from the status quo. So it will tend to be, I suspect, that I think life has proven this and borne this out. People's experiences, for the most part, that billionaires will be conservative in that sense. Write things the way they are. We're billionaires, after all. So I'm not suggesting that were there African-American billionaires, things would necessarily be so much different. But I do think they would be different. I look at things ranging from Colin Kaepernick's peaceful and respectful protest, kneeling for the national anthem. What was he really doing there? I've said it before, I'll say it again. The irony of that, you can say specifically police brutality or interactions with communities of color. But really what that's about broadly is systemic racism. And the irony that he wasn't allowed to have a job because he was protesting in a sense. The fact that he's not allowed to have a job because he behaved a certain way, is not lost on me. So does the Rooney Rule help? Sure. Does a revised version help? Sure. Provided there are other measures in place also, including putting talent in the pipelines. But the big issue is ownership. And there's still no African-American owners in the NFL. And I suspect if there were several at least, things would be a little better.
I think you're right. You can't fix the problem in this organization if you don't start with the root, and the root is the team, the people who own the team. Well, I will disagree with you. The reason we don't have a black NFL owner is not because of necessarily, I think it's a contributing factor, the history of racism, but it's because the NFL hasn't wanted one. They haven't aggressively sought one. Like, the idea that you have to be able to buy a team is actually inaccurate. You don't even have to be the majority owner to be the managing partner. Al Davis is a perfect example of that. He owned that team up until 2005 before he had majority stake in that organization, or in the Raiders team. So if the NFL found it so important, they need to be courting and grooming black owners for the next time a team comes up. And the last couple times that a team came up, they should have had that thought then. So it's hard for them to look down at everyone else as the people who run the league and say, you guys need to do a better job, when amongst their own ranks, they aren't doing a good job. And I appreciate the fact that Stephen A was trying to think of solutions, but I do think that part of the problem is some of the solutions that are being presented are hurdles set in front of the candidates. I don't know that I like that as much as we address the issue, which is the decision makers. And I think that with the point you made, Stephen A, is that they need to be confronted with their unconscious bias. I think having them put in writing the reason why they hired someone or didn't hire someone else, it forces them to be conscious about the decision they're making and why they're making it, not just because they like some guy or they made them feel good. So I think that's something that we should address. And the people who are against the idea of the other proposal that got voted down, that teams would get incentivized, get some kind of draft capital for making these decisions, like, I don't understand being opposed to that. There's nothing about that to me that's offensive. As of now, you get a higher draft pick because your team was terrible. I'd much rather reward teams for being progressive in the way that they hire and give them a higher draft pick because of that, not because they stink at football.
Well, for me, the only hesitancy that I have in regards to that, Dominique, is the fact that I don't know of any black man that would be happy or proud about getting the job under those conditions, because they would be vilified privately. I mean, you and I both understand. I know you disagree with that, but I know. But what I'm saying is, you and I both know guys in the NFL that wouldn't want jobs under those conditions. So I'm just opposed to that because I was thinking about what they had to say. Not that I disagree with it, I was thinking about what they had to say.
I understand that, and my reaction was the same thing when I first heard it. Was like, I don't want to be hired in that condition. But you know what? Like, it comes with the territory. Whenever you're a black person in this country, all of us have had some success in life. All black people have had some success in life. When they get to that point of success, a lot of people look at them like they don't belong there. Get used to it, get over it, get in that situation, and you win, people will forgive it. Sometimes you have to carry a greater burden when you're kind of breaking through and trying to change it.
400 years of negative action deserves a couple of years of affirmative action, I would say, but we can debate that another time, probably.
There's no debate there, man.
All right, the average tenure for an NFL owner currently is 38 years. All right, guys, when we come back, more football we want to dive into as well. We'll have the first sighting. We have it. There it is. Tommy Brady in a Bucs uniform. Is Brady more important than a supporting cast in Tampa? We will answer that question.
At Pizza Hut, the only person to touch your pizza once it leaves our 400-degree oven is you. Get our best delivery deal. Large pizzas with up to 3 toppings for just $9.99. Choose contactless delivery or new curbside pickup at pizzahut.com. The new moment in wireless has begun. T-Mobile and Sprint are joining forces. By bringing together our two networks, T-Mobile will build America's largest and most reliable 5G network with more towers, more engineers, and more coverage. You'll get the best 5G network and the best prices. Welcome to T-Mobile, America's largest 5G network.
What if you could go into the past, back before the fishing line was cast? to see that it was sustainable wild caught, so you can feel good about the fish that you bought. We know the story of all the fish that we've sold, and that's what makes us whole.
The new house was amazing. So much character.
Original crown molding, walk-in closet.
We do have a route. At least God can make fun of our hard truths.
That's pretty safe.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
The open road, the wind in your hair, the feeling of freedom that drives us to go out and discover. At Chevy, we're committed to getting you there with confidence and peace of mind. If you need a new Chevy, interest-free APR financing for 84 months on any of our most popular models. You may even shop online and take delivery of your car available. And when you do, your Chevy cleaning dealers commit to using enhanced vehicle cleaning measures with CDC-approved cleansers. You can find new roads with confidence.
This is gonna be America's favorite breakfast. You just don't know it yet. You order a breakfast, and that's when Wendy's makes it. Not weeks or months ago. Try your new favorite with a free breakfast Baconator with offer in the app.
On Wednesday, October 2nd, I was diagnosed with testicular cancer.
After you faced death, was it hard to take EPO?
No.
Someone help me move this thing!
Stress Balls Gummies have ashwagandha, a clinically proven herbal stress reliever that helps you turn the stress level into your best. Stress less with more with Stress Balls.
Support your favorite college at Fanatics.com. The largest assortment of officially licensed fan gear from more than 500 colleges. Every conference, every team. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
Jim and Joanne are here to pick up the same prescription. They both know the system is not on their side. They both know drug costs are out of control. But one of them is taking back control with GoodRx. So while he's paying that much, even with his insurance, she's paying this much just by using GoodRx. Use GoodRx to compare prices at pharmacies in your area and stop paying too much for your prescriptions. Download the free app today and take back control.
Set your alarms bright and early. More Korean baseball for you tomorrow morning at 5:25 a.m. Eastern, 2:25 Pacific on ESPN2 and the ESPN app. The NC Dinos taking on the Doosan Bears. TB12, Tom Brady working out at the local Tampa schools with several of his new teammates, including receivers Mike Evans, Scotty Miller, and tight end O.J. Howard. The league says the workout is all okay as long as Brady follows the recommendations and guidelines of state and local authorities and medical experts. Max Kellerman, of course you're up first. Cliff/Ravine Kellerman. Who's more important to the, you know you're never going to live that one down. I just love bringing it up. More important to the Bucs' success here, is it Brady or is it his supporting cast?
Live it down. I'm proud of it. The answer is the supporting cast. This supporting cast won 7 games last year with a quarterback who threw 30 interceptions, totaling 112 points, gave the other team 112 points, still was 1 game away from a 500 record because they had a hell of a supporting cast, an underrated defense, and a really good offense. And since then, they've added to that offense before you even get to the quarterback. In Gronkowski, when you look at how many good tight ends they have, how many receivers they have, they drafted a guy who a lot of people on this show said he was going to be the first offensive lineman taken. They thought he was Giants, a top 5 pick in worth. The Bucs get him. Like, the Bucs are loaded. They're loaded. And when you look at what Tom Brady actually means, sure, he's giving you that feeling, but mostly what we're dealing with here is he's not going to hand the ball to the other team. He's going to make sound decisions and steady the ship. Just by doing that, just by replacing Jameis Winston with a solid middle-of-the-pack quarterback and then adding offensive talent, you wouldn't expect 7 and 9. You'd expect 9 and 7, maybe, depending on the quarterback, maybe 10-6, and that's what I think we're dealing with here. Let's not forget, Brady, without the supporting cast, did not win a playoff game last year. But he also didn't beat the Miami Dolphins, a win they really needed to have to get home field. He lost a must-win game at the end of the season, really, for the playoffs, and then lost the first game of the playoffs. Now, you can say, well, they had 12 wins, they're a really good team. Yes, Bill Belichick is a genius coach, and Brady still has enough to take to be his muse, right? To still to do most of the things Belichick wants him to do, although when the time came, Belichick said, okay, see you later. So who's more important, Brady on the one hand at this stage, or an entire supporting cast in the Bucs on the other? Pretty clearly, the entire supporting cast.
I think it's pretty clearly Tom Brady, and I think the evidence is in the fact that Jameis Winston is gone. If it was really just about the supporting cast, why would Jameis Winston have needed to be replaced? Why? Because it's somebody throwing them the damn football. That's why. No matter how good you think they are, no matter how good I think they are, if you don't have the right person throwing them the football instead of throwing it to the other team, giving New Meaning a 30 for 30, the bottom line is Tom Brady wouldn't be necessary. But he is, because you don't have to worry about that with him at the quarterback position. We understand if you added Rob Gronkowski to the mix. Would Rob Gronkowski be needed if Tom Brady wasn't there? It's the relationship, the chemistry, the camaraderie that they have with one another, and being the champions that they were together that makes Rob Gronkowski so important. He was gone. He hasn't played since 2018. He just turned 31 years of age. I believe it was May 14th. Happy birthday, happy belated birthday to him. But the bottom line is that you're expecting him to be a reliable target for Tom Brady, primarily in short yardage situations, even in pressurized situations. But when you look at Howard and Brate and Evans and Godwin, they've got a multitude of weapons there. We all know that. We can see that. But in the end, they still were not winning football games. And they weren't winning football games because they didn't have the right man throwing them the damn football. Period. It all changes now. There's expectations, and they are championship expectations. The Bucs are actually considered a Super Bowl contender. Now let's take that into perspective here. Wipe Tom Brady out of the picture for a second, Molly and Max. You added a rookie offensive lineman, and you added Gronkowski. And suddenly you're a Super Bowl contender? Of course not. You're a Super Bowl contender because Tom Brady has arrived. With the weapons you have, no doubt. But Tom Brady is the guy that's expected to utilize those weapons. He is the pivotal piece in all of this. Without him, it don't matter. We wouldn't even be thinking about the Bucs going to the playoffs if Tom Brady wasn't there.
No, it happens to be Tom Brady. And Tom Brady's a great brand name, and he'll make you feel good in pressurized moments, whether or not you get that, Max. What do you mean? Against Miami. What do you mean it happens to be Tom Brady? Last year, which is why I'm asking you a question. What do you mean it happens to be Tom Brady? And I'm answering the question. Where is Jameis Winston's starting job?
Right now, he doesn't have
anywhere. No, he doesn't have one. Meaning there are 32 teams in the NFL, and not one of them preferred Jameis Winston to their guy. Meaning the Bucs were basically operating without a starting quarterback last year, or at the very least.
You can't just go by that. Cam Newton doesn't have a job.
The league, he's not a starting quarterback. That's because of injury, not because of just the way he played. So Tom Brady, yes, is a huge upgrade over Jameis Winston, but many quarterbacks would be huge upgrades over Jameis Winston. In fact, there are.
Would we have been talking about that if Teddy Bridgewater was a quarterback?
Yep.
You like Teddy Bridgewater? Would we be talking about them in the same way? Would we be talking about them if Teddy Bridgewater was a quarterback? That's a damn lie. Stop lying on national television. That's a lie. And you know it's a lie. That's no lie. You wouldn't be talking about Tampa like this. Teddy Bridgewater? I like Teddy Bridgewater a lot. Yes. We would not be talking about Tampa Bay and Super Bowl contenders like
Max,
this.
come on.
Yeah,
Max, you're lying. You're lying, Max. You're lying.
Excuse me. When they had a backup quarterback take over for Winston a couple years ago, they were putting up 40 points a game. Now, they put in a quarterback who also throws a lot of interceptions, but we have not yet seen this Bucs offense operate with a competent middle-of-the-pack quarterback. They won 7 games without that last year.
Max Keller, that still doesn't address my question. I'm saying we're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as Super Bowl contenders. We would not be doing that if Teddy Bridgewater was a quarterback. We would not be doing it. You don't have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a Super Bowl. Hold on, wait a minute. I got it. You don't have Tampa Bay as a Super Bowl contender.
Fringy.
First you said no, now you say fringy. A couple of weeks ago I thought you said they were contending, but you said the same. Could you make up your mind?
Stephen A., I don't like them in their own division. And if Teddy Bridgewater were the quarterback of this team, I would feel maybe I give Brady a little extra leniency. He's been there so many times. I like them a little more than I like them now. But if Bridgewater were the quarterback, I would largely think the same thing about it.
Molly, go ahead. He had him as a wild card. He had him as a wild card. Go ahead, Molly. Go ahead, Molly.
You know what, Stephen A., I can't, even looking at Max's face, he can't even keep a straight face here because he knows it. He knows it's true. I can't even moderate the segment. There's no moderating because it is not
Thank
the
you.
same way. If it's Teddy Bridgewater at 6'3", Tom Brady, you've lost your mind.
We're speaking for you because you said it. I think with Tom Brady, they're the second best team in the division. I think with Teddy Bridgewater, they'd be the second best team in the division. I like them for 9 or 10 wins either way.
All right, let's get out of this. We're just lying to America right now, and it's not even right. It's messed up. We're not even
Lying
being
with a straight face. I get that to you. I give that to you. You got the poker face, but you lied to your team. You lied. You've been lying for the last 5 minutes.
Receivers, by the way,
Flat out
that
lying.
lead the NFL in yards and touchdowns. There he is, someone who's going to bring a smile and a laugh to our face. Rob Riggle with us next. He's still gloating about his Chiefs segment. He's loving this. All right, we'll talk to Rob in just a bit.
Macy's Memorial Day sale has great furniture and mattress supervised. Like this outdoor sofa, $1,099, and this sectional, $1,879. Plus save big on Sealy Posturepedic mattress closeouts. Now at select Macy's stores and Macy's.com.
A new moment in wireless has begun. T-Mobile and Sprint are joining forces. By bringing together our two networks, T-Mobile will build America's largest and most reliable 5G network with more towers, more engineers, and more coverage. You'll get the best 5G network at the best price. Welcome to T-Mobile, America's largest 5G network.
I just love hitting the open road, telling people that Liberty Mutual customizes your insurance. So you only pay for what you need.
When you need a vehicle you can count on, trust Toyota to be here for you.
Many Toyota service centers are open to help keep your vehicle in top shape and may even offer no contact vehicle drop-off. If you need a new vehicle, Toyota is offering 0% financing throughout the season on swapping Toyotas like Camry, RAV4, and Tacoma. You can even shop and buy online from the comfort of your home.
It's our promise to you, today and tomorrow. Toyota.
Your mission, stand up moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis and take it on with Rinvoq. Rinvoq for once daily pills can dramatically improve symptoms. Rinvoq helps pain, stiffness, swelling, and for some, Rinvoq can even significantly reduce RA fatigue. That's Rinvoq. With RA, overactive immune system attached to it, Rinvoq regulates to help stop the attack.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious infections and blood clots, sometimes fatal, have occurred, as have certain cancers, including lymphoma, and tears in the stomach or intestines, and changes in lab results. Your doctor should monitor your blood. Tell your doctor about any infections, and if you are or may become pregnant while taking Rinvoq.
Take on RA. Talk to your rheumatologist about Rinvoq Relief. Rinvoq, make it your mission. If you can't afford your medicine, AbbVie may be able to help.
At Ace, we come into work every day for one reason, to help, which is why Ace is staying open. So if you need something for your house, we're here so you can order it online. We can also help you stay in by helping you grill out, because Ace has great deals for your family from the best brands like Weber, Traeger, and Big Green Egg. We'll even include free assembly, free delivery, and free fuel. Because at Ace, being helpful is what we're all about. It's our purpose, our people, our pledge.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
At Domino's, we think it's important to look on the bright side right now.
I finally got some toilet paper on Monday.
Almost every night, me and my family have had dinner together, which we haven't done in years.
You know, join the family with the little guy.
I really like that I can wear yoga pants every day.
And you can still get specialty chicken, stuffed cheesy bread, medium 2-topping pizzas, or any 2 or more mix and match items for just $5.99 each. So that's something else to be glad about.
I'm just glad I don't have to